Former West Indies captain Nicholas Pooran led his team from fourth to first to champion in 2 exhilarating days of T10 cricket. Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to the Cricket Forum. Please slash a like on the video, share, and subscribe. I hope you're having a good morning, and now that the test matches are over, we'll all be able to get some sleep. Now, the Abu Dhabi T10 finals was yesterday. And Saturday, Deccan Gladiators, the team captained by Nicholas Pooran, they came fourth in the table. Therefore, they will first have to beat the third place team, which was Team Dubai. So Team Dubai came third, and the Deccan Gladiators, captained by Nicholas Pooran, came fourth. So in that first eliminator match, Deccan Gladiators made 96 all out. Only Odean Smith, who made 32 from 15 deliveries, made any significant contribution for the Gladiators. However, their bowling came to the party, and with some astute captaincy by Nicholas Pooran, with good bowling changes, and led his team to a 7-run victory over Team Abu Dhabi. So that Gladiators won the Eliminator. Then come the Qualifier, which is like a semi-finals. And this is Saturday again. 20 minutes after they won that match, they were back on the field in this semi-final match. They played against Sam Army, a team that its owners are from the United States, and they are called Sant Army. This team was captained by Moeen Ali from England. They batted first and made 126. Russell bowled one over in that match that went for 23 runs, as the Sant Army made 126. Another stroke of genius from Pooran. In this match, he sent Andre Russell to open, and Andre Russell delivered by scoring 63 runs from 32 deliveries to take the Gladiators to victory over the Sam Army in the semifinals, which was the biggest chase of the competition. Now comes the final, and they were playing against the New York Strikers. As the name suggests, the team owners are from New York, and they are called the New York Strikers, and they are captained by no less than Kieran Pollard. It must be noted that in the Abu Dhabi T10, 4 of the 8 teams were captained by West Indians. Now, coming back to Powell captained the Warriors, and Bravo captained the Bulls. But coming back to the finals, again, this time, Pooran made 40 from 23 deliveries, and he, along with David Visa, carried his team, the Deccan Gladiators, to 128 of their 10 overs. And they won the match comfortable by 37 runs, as brilliant bowling all round from the team. Pollard, who took a tactical retirement when they realized that they were not going to get the runs, Pollard retired himself. So the Gladiators move from fourth to first, beating third place, second place, and first place to become champion of the Abu Dhabi T10, led by former West Indies captain Pooran. Nicholas Pooran was the captain of the Gladiators. Powell, and I'm just mentioning Powell team came 6th in this tournament. The Northern Warriors came 6th in this tournament, and Pooran team was the winner. Make of that what you want. I'm just putting it out there. So Powell team came 6th, and Pooran team came 1st. Interestingly, when Powell and Pooran met, Pooran made 80 of 30 deliveries to carry his team to a comfortable win over Powell team. So interestingly, the two, I'm just putting out there because both of them were in the regional Super 50 finals, and Pooran just resigned as West Indies captain, and in all likelihood, Powell will be the new captain. And I put this out there to say that really and truly, Pooran only captained West Indies for 6 months. And although he made some, I'm not going to say he never made some poor decisions, some decisions that we did not expect a captain to make, but I don't think the captaincy is West Indies' problem. The captaincy is not West Indies' problem why we are not winning T20 matches. Clearly, West Indies is struggling with the basics of the game. I remember last year, this time, just after the World Cup, Pooran led a team to Pakistan where we got 3-0 in a T20 match. And everybody was saying, wow, the team look fresh and revives, and they look good under Pooran. They look together. The team looked together. But here, 1 year later, he has resigned because he was pressured into resigning as captain. I hope that when Powell take over the team, because I expect Powell to take over the T20 team, I hope the same thing doesn't happen again, because West Indies team is simply struggling with the basic of T20 cricket, and it's not a captaincy issue. If Powell can revive this T20 team and get them to be world class again, he will be the greatest captain ever. Anyhow, that can happen. And sometimes I say things and person misinterpret me. I'm not saying that Powell is the greatest captain ever. I am saying that if he can revive this West Indies T20 team and turn them into a world-class unit and win the 2024 World Cup, he will be the greatest captain ever if he can do that. Yesterday, when I mentioned about Brathwaite, and if Brathwaite was probably becoming one of the great openers, I was taken to task and asked, oh, I don't mention Chris Gayle, when I was just saying something live and was just saying that names that came to my head at that time. It wasn't something that I planned or researched. I was live and I asked the question, and I did not say he was. I was just asking, because Brathwaite averages 35. But with the pressure that he's batting under, is he approaching that level of one of West Indies' great openers? What if he gets that average up to 40, 42? Because he has been very consistent over the past 2 years. But that's for another time. So just let's look at some of the statistics from out of the Abu Dhabi T10. The leading runs getter in the Abu Dhabi T10 was Pooran with 345. He has a highest score of 80. His average was, and his strike rate was 234. Pooran's strike rate was the second highest in the tournament. Pooran was the only batsman to score 345 runs. And let's put that into context. And that's why his average is very important. He scored 345 runs, but he was the only one who batted 10 times in the tournament, because the Gladiators came fourth, and they have to play the third place team, the second place team, and the first place team to win the competition. He was the only one that batted 10 times in the tournament. However, his strike rate was 49.28. So he was the leading run scorer in the tournament. He was the only one to go over 300 runs. Just look at Powell's record. Powell played in 7th match. He scored 196. His 196 was the 7th highest total in the tournament. He came 7th. He was the 7th leading run scorer in the tournament. His average was 32.65, but his strike rate of 245. Powell's strike rate of 245 was the highest in the tournament. Just some other statistics. Powell, Pooran, Lewis, and Smith were the only West Indian batsmen to have a strike rate of 200 and more in the tournament, so that they were scoring 2 runs off every delivery on average. Powell, Pooran, Evan Lewis, and Odean Smith. Interestingly, Keema Paul with an average of 77 at the highest average in the tournament for batsmen. So Keema Paul average of 77 was the highest in the tournament. Pooran average was 5th in the tournament, and Allen with a 44.5 was the 7th highest average in the tournament. So Pooran 49.8 average placed him 5th among the average, and Allen 44.5 placed him 5th. When it comes to the bowlers, Akil Hussain was a standout West Indian. Hussain got 10 wickets, which made him the 4th highest wicket taker in the tournament with his 10 wickets. His average of 9.3 was the top average in the tournament, meaning it was the lowest average in the tournament. So he was getting his wicket at 9.3, which was the lowest in the tournament. His economy of 6.2 was also the lowest economy in the tournament. No other West Indian bowlers were in the top 10 in these 3 categories. So Hussain, 10 wickets, was number 4. His average was the lowest. His economy was the lowest. And no other West Indian bowlers were in the top 10. When it comes to the best bowling figures, Carlos Brathwaite, 4 wickets for 3 runs, was the best performer in the tournament. That was the number 1 performance in the tournament. Cottrell, 3 for 10, 3 wickets for 10 runs, was 9th on the list. And no other West Indian was in that 10. So Brathwaite was at 1 with his 4 wickets for 3 runs, and Cottrell, 3 for 10, was at 9. Oh, interestingly, Kieran Pollard made the most ducks, he along with the Englishman Moeen Ali. So Kieran Pollard and Moeen Ali, both of them made 3 ducks, and they made the most ducks. I think Brandon King also made 2 ducks. So I'm just giving you some trivia from the Abu Dhabi. When it comes to sixes, Pooran hit 25-6, and he was a leading 6 hitter in the tournament. His 25-6, he was in the number 1 position. Powell hit 22 sixes, and he was in 2nd position. Brathwaite, Carlos Brathwaite, yes, Carlos Brathwaite, not Craig Brathwaite, Carlos Brathwaite, the man that won the World Cup in 2016. He hit 13 sixes, and he was in 6th position. Odean Smith, Kevin Lewis, and Etmeyer each hit 11 sixes. Smith, who batted in 5 matches and have an average of 30, came ahead of Lewis, who also batted in 5 matches and have an average of 22, but Etmeyer batted in 6 matches. So that's why they placed Smith 8th, Lewis 9th, and Etmeyer 10. So those are just some trivia, some statistics from the Abu Dhabi T10. I'm just going to look at a few comments here. Good morning, Sheldon. How are you? Good morning. So is Pooran a good captain now in this? Sheldon, you're a troublemaker, you know. You're a real troublemaker, Sheldon. Ravi Rampal was missed in the finals. Ravi Rampal was missed in the finals. Was that Ravi Rampal team? Well, if it was his team, would it have made a difference, Sheldon? I don't know. But was that Ravi Rampal team? I know Ravi Rampal probably came 12th among the wicket takers on the table, because between 11th and 20, there was about 6 West Indian lineup, but only 2 was in the top 10. Only one was in the top 10, Hussain. Das, how you doing? What happened? How comes Bangladesh beat India by one wicket? What happened? I never knew that. But hi, how you doing? Glad to see you. I'm happy that you're back. I never knew, man, that India was going to lose to Bangladesh. What happened in that match? Why they were beaten by 1 wicket? Talking about other matches. Last night, yesterday evening, and I saw a number of you on the YouTube channel commenting as the West Indies women went down to defeat against the English women. The thing, I woke up this morning and I was saying that when the West Indies women lost, it doesn't feel so bad as when the men team should lose a match. It really doesn't. You're disappointed, but it's not that gut-wrenching. So England batted first and made 307. Shaniel Henry, 3 for 59, and Ashley Fletcher, 2 for 66. Both from 10 overs were the standout bowlers for the West Indies. So when West Indies batted, they made 165 all out. At the top of the order, Ailey Matthews appears to be suffering from cramp and she had to retire early. And Rashada Williams joined Casey Knight, and both of them were going very well. The score was, I think, 82-1, with Casey Knight and Rashada Williams looking very well. When Rashada Williams, I don't know whose call it was, but Rashada Williams ran out for 34, and after that, the batting just crumbled. Ailey Matthews came, she tried, but she obviously was in discomfort. She made 34 also, and Casey Knight made 39. So England women 307 for 7 beat the West Indies 165 all out. And in the next match that England played, yes, they won. They won, I think, by 74 runs after bowling out Pakistan in night. It was not a day or night match, but by the time Naseem Shah was out, it was night. So Pakistan losing by 74 runs to England, and England made a bold declaration and win. It was a day of England victories because they won 3-0 in the World Cup football. They beat Pakistan and they beat the West Indies women. So it was a day of England victories. Sheldon Smith, Hussein should get an IPL contract up this IPL. I expect him, yes, Hussein should get an IPL contract this IPL. I expect him to get one, Sheldon. He's bowling very well. He's bowling very consistently. And that's why some people are asking for him to be in the West Indies test team, because we want to see what he does with the red ball. But we hope that this is difficulty, this is the difficulty. You do not want to pick players who are playing white ball cricket and just put them in the test team without they playing regional 4-day cricket. I'm not in support of that. They need to play red ball cricket. Whether they are going to play county cricket or come to the Caribbean and play regional 4-day cricket, they need to play red ball cricket before you pick them for the West Indies team. If Hussein should get an IPL contract, and if he should get a Bangladesh Premier League contract and a Pakistan Super League contract, he already have an international T20 contract. He will have no time to play red ball cricket. So a number of these players who we are saying that maybe they should be playing red ball cricket. But if they are going to play red ball cricket, they have to give up something. Are they willing to give it up? But I really expect Hussein to get a contract. For the last 2 IPL seasons, he has been net bowlers. He has been a net bowler. But this time around, I expect him to get an IPL contract. Tomorrow morning, I've spent many hours going over it and looking to pick my West Indies 11 for the second test. There are a number of surprises in that 11. And tomorrow morning, God's willing, I'll be here to discuss my playing 11 with you. I hope that you will bring your playing 11 so that we can have a lively discussion. Please have a great day. Slash a like on the video, share and subscribe. Remember to take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones. God bless you now and be good.